welcome to Adventures with Richel, the podcast. I'm Richel Stratton.
Brian Murray.
And we are excited to have you with us today. Thank you so much for listening. Brian, how was your day? Or how has your week been?
Pretty good. Jobs seemed to be pretty easy. Finally got my football roster with my kids.
Was Landon on it?
He was one of the third or fourth people that I looked for.
Okay, good deal.
I looked for my kid first.
Well, if they didn't put your kid on your team, it'd be pretty dumb.
Real dumb, yes. So yeah, everything's good with me, I think.
Good.
You?
I'd say it's pretty good. Levi is feeling better. Took him to the doctor finally because we were like, okay, this fever's lingering a little bit too long. Don't necessarily think it's the flu anymore. You want to know what it was?
Tell me. Hit me.
An ear infection. Yet the kid did not complain about his ears hurting at all. Which...
Isn't it always the ears?
My mother-in-law said that it doesn't surprise her because when Chris was a kid, he would get ear infections all the time and would never complain about his ears or act like anything was wrong, but would have a fever. So the doctor said he may have had the flu at one point, like in the beginning, and probably kicked it within like a day or two. She said, but the reason the fever wasn't going away and it was like a low-grade fever is because his ears are infected. But luckily the kid hit her with, my ears don't hurt, so like I didn't look like a bad mom. I was like, thank God.
Well, how are you supposed to know that? Moms can't be superheroes every day.
Yeah.
But you are.
We try to be. So anyway, a little less stressed about that.
Good.
We're on antibiotics. Haven't had fever. He's been peppy. He's been playing video games and...
How about 2 weeks before we hit the road?
Yeah, 2 weeks before we hit the road.
How's your stress level?
It's up high. I'm breaking out. That's not where you check your pulse. You check your pulse on this side, not this side.
I can feel you.
Feel your bone rotate.
You can't even get your fingers around my thing. Oh
I
my
can't.
God. You can't. I can do. Oh
okay, so a little stressed out, but getting things together. It's more I just have a busy. Every day I have something to do.
This looks like, from what you told me, this is like the busiest week since I've known you.
I
with
have
all
busy
with all the shit you got.
But like multiple things a day.
Yeah.
So, managing, okay? Took grandma her stuff that she needed,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
She basically told me that me and Chris are idiots because I told her I did not see bandages that do not stick to wounds. Like, that's what she wanted, and I was like...
A non-sticking bandage.
Yes. I was like, so I've got you these gauze 4x4 bandages. They don't have sticky stuff on them. And she was like, well, obviously you and Chris have never been in a pharmacy looking at bandages because they exist. So you don't know what you're talking about.
Why
I was like,
so...
do you want this stuff or not, old lady? Okay. But then I did look at her wrist. It's not bruised. It's not deformed. I do not think it's broken. I think that where her wound is causing tenderness.
Because it hurts.
Yeah. So we didn't have to get in a fight. But took her to lunch. And mind you, you know that my grandma can't really see. She can see, but she can't see. It's the weirdest thing. Like, she can't see to sign her name. And things like that. Like, she can't...
But she can see Bigfoot from a mile away.
No, she sees a gnat flying around.
Oh.
And, like, it's a legit gnat. Okay?
Okay.
But she can't see stuff. So, like, we went to lunch, and I was making her salad for her. Because she got a big salad, but she didn't want to eat all of it, so I was taking some out on a plate and putting dressing on it. And she's like, well, do I have to get more dressing because you're dumping the whole thing on there? And at that point, she had been so mean to me all day that I had had enough.
You fired back.
I said, listen, old lady. I said, you can't see shit. You don't know how much dressing I'm putting on here. And I said, I make your salads every single time we go to eat. I said, is there ever too much dressing? Well, no. I said, then why do you think that there'd be too much dressing now? I was just asking.
She was just as irritated at you as you were at her.
Yeah. Then we sat in silence and ate our meal.
How was the meal?
It was good.
I ate something good today.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you eat?
Let me tell you something.
If you hear that, that's my dog going nuts because it's warm out and people are walking. So he's protecting the castle.
Before I came to your house, I decided that I haven't ate anything today, so I'm going to slip a little bit of candy in me to get me through this podcast, this stressful podcast.
Yes.
And
the nutrition of the candy.
Yeah, I wanted that. Man.
Was it at least milk chocolate?
It was all the nougat that you can have. I'm telling you what, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm going to hit you with what I would consider the best candy out there if you're doing chocolate.
Okay, what is it?
Rolos.
I don't care for them too
Now
much.
wait, hold on. Let me back up. They taste so good. I don't like that you have to work to get to it. Each individual Rolo is in that little package. Those are now all over the truck. All over the truck.
Because you just...
It was angrily like I was cussing. The fuck do you have to put this mother? You know, but they're all over. God, it's so good.
I thought Rolos had like caramel in them.
They do. Do you not like that?
What's
your candy?
What candy do
Yeah.
I like?
Like if you're gonna do chocolate.
If I'm gonna do chocolate, I like Kit Kats. I will say I like Snickers.
Okay.
Okay.
Both good choices.
I like Heath bars.
Getting a little weird.
Have you ever had a Heath bar?
Yeah.
It's got toffee in it, and I
don't-
like toffee.
I don't think that's a good word or a good taste.
It is. It's like a buttery richness. It's
Why don't you like chocolate and caramel? You don't like the shape, do you?
I don't care about the shape. It doesn't matter. I think it's more of, if I'm going to do chocolate and caramel, I'm going to do a Carmelo.
That's too much.
How's that too much?
You take, because they're like little bricks, right?
Uh-huh.
You take one brick, you're done. That your blood sugar is 500,000.
How is that too much when you eat a whole thing of Rolos?
When you say whole thing, like
I've seen you eat Rolos.
10 of them.
At a time.
I love them great. They're like, I loved it. And I don't know how I've gone as many years I've recently just started eating them.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, a lot of times you do those junior mints.
I like those too.
Those are good.
You don't have to, and they're easier to get to. You just
don't
ever
much.
do that. Okay, yeah.
Or do it again.
No.
Do what?
No. You go. Just fuck it. All right. So what's this topic?
Okay, so this topic, I know we said something about it last week, but I'm really excited about this topic.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very intriguing to me.
I feel like it could be you.
It might be.
I might think so.
You never know.
Well, you would be on the list.
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
I wouldn't get caught.
Well, that's what these guys thought.
Okay, but some of them had a... Listen, I'm
Like
going to
a
tell you...
span?
I'm going to tell you right now. So today, we were talking about female serial killers, okay? I don't feel like they get a lot of limelight. A lot of the serial killers that we know that are very popular...
Limelight?
Like, they're not the spotlight. Like,
they kill people.
Okay, you got Bundy and Dahmer. They killed people too.
But
And people are like making shows about them and stuff.
I don't think limelight's the word.
Okay. Spotlight?
Go ahead.
Okay. But they don't get a lot of
Notoriety? That's a hard one.
notoriety?
Yeah.
Notoriety?
Yeah.
Yes. They don't get a lot of credit.
They don't get any credit hardly. There's only one that I know that gets credit.
Me too. Eileen.
Warnos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She's real close to being a guy though, wasn't she?
she was about as close as you possibly
She
can
was
get.
there.
Listen, I liked her, okay? Because I was like, not...
I get it. No, I get it.
Fascinated by her.
Yes.
Okay? Because it was like the one out of a ton of men.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, okay. You held your own in a man's world.
And did kill men.
And killed men. So, kudos. Then,
Please,
I
guys.
am not...
She's not hip hip hooray.
I'm not condoning murder or killing people. That is not what I'm saying.
But if you're gonna do it.
But if you're gonna do it fucking right, okay? And some of these ladies,
Oh my God.
I'm saying the span of time which they've gotten away with stuff is extremely incredible.
Well, ladies are generally more meticulous. I want to say smarter, but I'm upset. I don't want to upset the fellas. I got you. But they're a little bit more. I think you guys could be goddamn evil
You do?
when necessary.
Okay.
Love yous.
Yeah.
But I think this is like smile on your face. Go ahead, eat that chicken.
Yeah.
Drink up.
Yes.
That type shit.
Yes.
Not cut your face off.
Yes.
Okay.
Theirs isn't their acts of murder aren't as
Messy.
violent and messy because they'd have to clean it up.
Right.
You know.
They're tired of cleaning
They're
up.
probably the reason they're killing these people is because they had to clean up and they
You're
got
messy,
sick and tired.
sir. So here, take this.
And we'll just fix that problem real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a couple
What?
of women that I want to talk about.
Oh,
There's like 3 that I'm just going to hit on real quick, and then 1 I'm going to go into depth because I feel like she might be my new favorite.
you didn't do mine, right?
I don't think so. You do yours first.
No.
You don't want to do yours first?
No.
Okay, I'm going to do 2, then we'll go to yours.
And if the third one's the same, you have to scratch it.
Yeah, and we'll come back.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm diving in. I'm a viewer.
All right. So I'm going to try to pronounce their names, but I may get them wrong. I'm not sure. Okay. So the first one I have is Jane Topham, or whatever. Her nickname was Jolly Jane, which all of them have nicknames that I am here for. Okay.
Mine sucks.
Like really, like yeah.
That's
So
okay.
Jolly Jane.
Mm.
She committed 12 murders in Massachusetts between 1895 and 1901.
Dang. I'm surprised they caught her.
I am too. She used morphine to give a lethal dose and then would sit with her victims holding them until they died.
What was she saying?
I don't know. In 1931, she confessed to killing 31 people.
Dang.
Okay. Now we have Kristen Gilbert, nicknamed Angel of Death. All right.
Okay.
She killed 4 people, all veterans of conflict, and she injected them with epi. She was responsible for 3 first-degree murders, 1 second-degree murder, and 2 attempted. She also lived in Massachusetts.
Listen up, Boston.
Yeah, watch it. You want to know what they both had in common besides Massachusetts
And killing people.
and killing people? They were both nurses and caregivers.
Easier to get medicines.
Yeah, so this medicine, they were just overdosing their patients.
You wonder why I don't go to the hospital.
They don't have to kill you because you go do it yourself, okay? Like,
What a dick.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
But isn't that interesting? After I was researching, I was picking ones that I found most intriguing. But there were a lot of people that were caregivers or nurses, a lot of women that offed people.
You think they were just fed up?
Probably.
Like, I have changed your bedpan.
They may have also been like, this is a mercy killing. I don't think they were, but maybe. Who knows? I think that they probably were sick and twisted.
Absolutely.
But anyways,
What did they gain from it? Just he dead.
yeah. I
Did
don't
they
know.
only kill guys?
It doesn't really say who their victims were.
You know who it was.
What?
It was guys. You know it.
It probably was.
Yes.
I don't know. But yeah, so I thought it was pretty interesting. And I was like, nurses, caregivers, Massachusetts. Watch out. So when we go to Massachusetts, don't go to the hospital.
Ever.
Because you never know. Which we like Massachusetts. Besides the airport. The airport
The airport wasn't good.
sucks.
It's
One of the worst airports I've ever been in.
Probably.
With how many people, how hard it was to get vehicles, how hard it was to navigate. It's just,
Ugh.
I know.
You
I
did at the
understand.
same time.
I know. I understand why people are killing people.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, my lady's name is Dorothy Puente. Dorothea.
Dorothea.
Yeah,
Puente.
I said Dorothy several times, and there's a Thea at the end, so it's Dorothea Puente. You got to say it like that.
Puente.
Yeah.
I like it.
From Sacramento,
Okay.
California.
Okay.
Was not a caregiver
Okay.
as far as medical.
Okay.
She ran a house for elderly people.
Uh-huh.
You know about this one?
I do.
Did you read about her?
I did.
She's not great.
No.
I like her.
She reminds me of that grandma off of what is that scary movie? Is it Constantine or something? Where they're in that like gas station diner thing in the middle of nowhere. And the old lady like orders a steak, rare. And then she's like, your baby's gonna die type thing. And then all of a sudden her teeth turn really crazy and she's on the ceiling. Do you know what I'm talking about?
God, no.
And that might not be the
If you
movie.
know that, though, let us know because I'd like to watch it.
It has like angel wing. Like it's the reaping, essentially. Like has a religious under.
I would like to
Tone.
watch this.
Yes, I will send it to you. I'll figure it out. But that lady like shows up a lot and I feel like they look the same.
This just looks like your grandma.
Looks like her grandma. Yeah.
Nice. She's smiling on all of her pictures, even when she was caught. She's kind of like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm smiling. But
She's like, I had a good run.
yeah, and I don't think that she was a killer to be mean. She
Okay.
wanted that money.
That's why these women serial killers get away with it.
I know.
They don't think they weren't being mean. Like I just gave.
I mean, this is mean.
I know. Like the action is mean, but me and you are both making excuses. I was like, well, maybe they thought it was a mercy kill, and you're like, I don't think she did it to be mean.
No, she wanted the money. So what she
greed.
would do was she'd house these people in her little house that she has, and look, I'm talking 2 days after being there, or sometimes they would find themselves dead, or she'd kill them by poisoning them,
Okay.
and people would call about them, and she'd be like, "Oh, he went on to Mexico. He won't be back for a while, or whatever." But she'd get those checks, she would cash them, she'd have the money. So anybody that showed up, she did men and women, they didn't stay there long.
Okay.
How about this? One time,
They check in, but they never check out.
ever,
Hotel California.
they were actually 6 of them. I believe it was 6. 9 victims total.
Okay.
That's what they think.
Okay.
They dug up several of them from the property.
Okay.
Which, this doesn't make sense to me. Put your investigative brain together.
Okay.
Old woman,
Okay.
whacking people.
How's she burying them?
How is she burying them? How is she carrying them all the way down there? Dead bodies are heavy.
So you would assume. You would assume.
I don't assume. I assume. Should I assume? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I've been Iraq.
I know, but like,
Sorry.
you want to go into detail about that?
No,
because
no.
people are going to ask how you know.
No. Just
Okay.
I was in the military.
They're heavy.
Settled. Yes. So, how'd they get down there?
I'm questioning it. Okay. Like, I'm like, okay. Questioning. But then I know my grandma. Okay.
Okay.
My grandma moves railroad ties. You give her enough time and she can move anything. Because they come from a different time where you had to like use levers and pulleys and like,
They're stronger back then.
yeah. Like she worked on a farm because like that might be a little thing. Okay. But also, I do not think my grandma is a serial killer. Okay. But I will tell you multiple times, how many times have I gone out there and dug a hole for her?
Oh my God. What's the hole for? You don't ask?
No, I do not ask. I do not want to be an accomplice.
Just,
She asked me how, like, if I'll come out and dig a hole.
did she give you dimensions?
Yeah.
What's
like-
the dimensions?
Basically, I dig, and then I'm like, is that good? And she's like, yeah, thanks. I'm like, all right.
Like a 6x6?
You know, 6, you know. Well, but I'm just saying,
We're on to her.
I don't ask questions. I don't want to know what she needs the hole for. She plants a lot of trees. She plants a lot of trees.
Your grandma's a serial killer.
I told you she's crazy, but like a scary kind of crazy.
Good Lord,
She's not a serial. If she is a serial killer, oh my God.
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's got
She
you
once
tricked.
told me, I asked her one time about a possible incident or whatever. It was like it's out of the statute of limitations at this point.
They're going to
And she
investigate.
said, now why would I tell you that? I said, I'm just wondering. I said, the fact that you're not answering kind of makes me concerned. And she said, that's how people get caught. They yap too much. She says, you get to talk, and she's like, if you're the only person that knows, then
I can see that.
Which, I mean, they just have a different way of thinking.
Yes. Okay, let me get back to Dorothea
Dorothea.
real quick. So I did question how she got the bodies down there. Well, I guess she was doing it by herself because that shit got tiring.
Yeah.
So she hired a handyman to make her a 6x6 pine box.
Okay.
She paid him.
Uh-huh.
He made the box. Well, then she just started putting people on those.
Okay.
So she must have got tired of it.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite part about her,
Okay.
which sounds weird, I know. I'm intrigued by these people.
I'm
okay?
intrigued too. When we say it's our favorite part, we're talking about it's very interesting.
Right.
Like it makes you want to dig deeper, not that we're condoning killing.
Right. She got sloppy.
Yeah, well, she's old.
Right. There was some people digging in the back, and they actually found what looked like burlap, but it was human skin.
Ew.
Yeah, like leathery human skin.
Yeah.
So they started digging more, and they started finding these bodies. So on the second day of digging, she asked the cop, "Hey, you care if I go over and get some coffee while you guys are doing this?"
Yeah.
And the cop says, "Yes.
We care. Or yes, you can.
You can. We'll call you when we need you." This is a woman that's a suspect. So she goes over
She's a little old lady.
Very old, but they still think that it's her.
She's
She's in questioning, but she hops over to the coffee shop that has a bar, and she goes ahead and downs four gin and tonic, 4 alcoholic drinks. Bam, 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 and gets in a cab and takes off. She's out of there. She just walked across the street.
She asked him to leave.
Yes.
And they let her.
And she took off. She met another man after drinking a little bit more.
Okay.
She had like $2,000 or $3,000, and then he started noticing this woman looks like the woman on TV. Ended up turning her in. My absolute favorite.
That bastard.
Yeah, what a chump. Well, I can understand why.
Yeah.
He had some dough. She was probably gonna whack him. Kill him. Yeah. Okay. But this is my favorite. She gets arrested. She doesn't make any big scene or anything, and she says these words. Ready? I used to be a good person.
I love it. I used to be a good person.
I used to be good.
She's like, my heart was in the right place when I started, but then I seen how much cash I could get, and and it slowly went to the wrong place.
Used to be.
Money does that to people.
Now, paranormal wise,
Okay.
a popular show
Yeah.
went there and investigated the house.
Okay.
They interviewed a woman.
How would you feel about living in a house that's a serial killer?
Oh, I've got more on that.
Okay.
So, the investigating team's there. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Zaki Poo.
Yeah.
He takes his team there. I would do it too.
Okay.
I would go there. Anyways, he interviews this woman that basically had seen in her dreams this woman smiling at her.
Oh my God.
They brought these two psychics in,
Uh-huh.
and these psychics, this is how the psychics work. The husband says what he's seeing, and the woman draws from what he thinks he's seeing.
Okay.
Psychically. Some shit like that.
Okay.
They put that drawing of what he was saying, they put that drawing on that Dorothea's picture, and was like identical. And then they showed it to the woman that said she's been having the dreams. She says, 100% that woman. Like, she comes to the house and she literally is smiling at me, which would be scary.
Yeah.
Okay. New owners have not had any experiences at the house,
Okay.
but they really have fed into it. Like, you should read some of the signs and stuff they put up. They have a statue of her. on the front porch.
Okay.
They have signs that say, once you check in, you may never check out.
I said that.
I know. They have the sign there.
Yeah.
And then there was a sign that said some shit like, stay out of the soil or something. Like, they're really feeding into it. They said they haven't had anything happen, but there are ghost tours and things because there have been people there that still believe Dorothea, and I'm going to tell you her name, when you said there wasn't good ones, the Death House landlady.
All right. I like it.
We could be better.
We could be better, but I like it.
She wasn't always a bad person.
Yeah, I used to be a good person.
So that's mine. 9
like
victims from 1992 to 1988. She got life, and she was doing her.
She got life, and then she went back to her old stomping grounds.
Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of stuff. This was for money. This was cash the checks, and at one point she was doing it like every couple of weeks.
Well, you gotta keep that income coming in.
Fascinating lady.
See, if I was gonna do it, I wouldn't kill off all these people. Like, I wouldn't be doing so many in a week. That looks suspicious. Every so often.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, how did it get to 9 before somebody come in and was like, man, everybody checks in here?
I'm gonna be honest with you though. A lot of the time, think about it. It sounds horrible and it's very sad, but a lot of the time when people go into assisted living or into nursing homes, it's because they don't have people to take care of them. They don't live close. They don't have people to take care of them. So they're probably not checking in on them. They're like, oh, they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they're sending them to those places
they're.
It's overtime.
It's like, you're good. You're being taken care of by somebody else. Little do they know they're actually being taken care
of. Yeah. But don't they understand that, like, where'd the money go?
They think that they're still alive if she's cashing the checks.
You're brilliant.
And no one's checking in on them.
Did you like mine?
I did like you.
All right.
I did like it. Yeah.
You did like me?
I liked you. I liked
Have
it.
you poisoned
It
me?
was great.
Are you about ready to start with yours?
Yes, the next two, okay? This one is Belle Gunnis, nicknamed the Indiana Ogress. Let me tell you right now.
I like that one.
Lived in Indiana, obviously. In 1900s, killed as many as 40 people, including 2 husbands, a foster daughter, and men she attracted by posting on the Lonely Hearts ads.
She's the first serial killer to have OnlyFans.
Pretty much. The funny thing about it is, not the funny thing, but old Belle was a big bitch.
Like, tall?
200 pounds could lift. A guy said he saw her lift a 300-pound piano by herself.
That's why they call her the Ogress.
Yeah. She's stout.
Huge bitch.
She's big, okay?
Yeah.
And she's probably getting all these little scrawny guys, okay? So she ended up, like I said, she killed her 2 husbands, okay? Her first husband, she killed when the insurance policy for one and the insurance policy for another, like the second insurance policy that she had on him, they lapsed by 1 day, and he died that day. So she got both insurance policies.
That's a plan.
And he died from, they said, cerebral hemorrhage. Yeah, cerebral. That is hard to say. Cerebral hemorrhage. Okay. The second husband, a meat grinder fell on his head. Oopsies.
Where was he at?
Yeah. But so she got insurance from them too, and then she was posting these Lonely Hearts ads to get people in. And then when she would get these suitors in, because she had money and she had a farm or whatever, she would spike their coffee with poison or bash their heads in.
With meat grinders?
And then she would cut up the bodies and bury them in her hog pen.
I know this lady.
Okay? She ended up having a handyman that was helping her. Now, the crazy thing about this is, when the police were coming, her house caught on fire. and victims in it. Okay, like she died. I put that in quotations. Died in a fire. They found a body, but it was headless, and they were like, "Hey, this is Belle." But then people were like, "This isn't the statue of Belle.
This
like
is Belle's leg.
like this doesn't look like
The
Belle,
ogress.
the ogress." Yeah. So they said that she like apparently got away or whatnot.
I've seen a little documentary on her.
Yeah.
I think she ends up doing the handyman ended up being ate by the pigs.
Probably.
Yeah, and like they found a leg. But
Yeah.
the pig was like, "Oh, I'm full."
Yeah.
Yeah, the handyman got it too.
Yeah. But drawing people in so that she could kill them.
Look,
Right? Like she got a taste for blood and then she was out for it.
if I'm reading an ad, I mean, visually,
Well, you have to think about it. It's like
don't
lonely.
you visually have to be into somebody? Isn't that a thing?
It's an ad. She's not posting a picture. It's not like Tinder. It's like back in the day Tinder.
Smooth talker then.
Description: come to my house to meet me. You don't leave.
How many guys got there, or ladies, and went, wrong address.
And then she felt bad, so she's like, "I'm killing you."
Yeah, here's the pigs.
But they said that she did it for money, for the insurance and stuff. But I don't know. That doesn't explain all these other random people that she was killing.
No,
I think she actually just liked it.
God.
To be honest. Okay, now I'm going to talk about my new fascination one. Okay. All right.
Why is the smile all up on you?
I watched YouTube interviews with her and all types of stuff. Okay.
Look, I'm glad you didn't give me nothing to drink.
I know, right? Okay. Nanny Das. Have you ever heard of her?
Maybe as you go further.
Okay. She was nicknamed the Giggling Granny. Also, the original Black Widow. Also, Lady Bluebeard. And the Lonely Hearts Killer. Because apparently she also used that ad, and you would think that if people kept dying and going missing off of the Lonely Hearts, you might not want to go on it anymore, right?
I mean...
Okay, so she's got a lot of stuff, all right? She was responsible for 11 deaths between 1920 and 1954.
Dang,
She
get a long
had
one.
a long run,
There's more than 11 then.
okay? She killed 4 husbands, 2 children, a sister, her mother, 2 grandsons, and her mother-in-law. Okay? She was married 5 times. Okay, she killed 4 husbands. She was married 5 times.
What's wrong with number 5?
No, her first husband left, came back a year later, and divorced her. And his reasoning was he was scared of her.
I know which one you're talking about.
Okay. She preferred to poison people using arsenic. And then she would collect insurance money. But really, after I was reading about it, she pretty much poisoned people who upset her.
Okay.
Okay? So I can go into a little bit of it if you want. But like her first husband, she married when she was 16. And she was stressed out and she started drinking. And then she, developed a habit. He also drank. They lost their 2 middle girls to food poisoning. Yeah, food poisoning.
Was it really?
The thing about it is people said that everyone who was around her ended up having stomach problems. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But he took the 2 middle girls died. He took their firstborn daughter and fled, and then came back later. Okay, but he said he was always scared of her. So a little bit later, she gets married again, and again to an alcoholic. Like, I don't know if the first guy was an alcoholic. She was an alcoholic. Second marriage, alcoholic, who had a criminal record for assault, and their marriage lasts 16 years. Okay.
Dang, he was a long laster.
He was a long laster. But she ended up, excuse me, sorry. So had another baby, but it died soon afterwards.
What happened to that one?
No, her daughter, the daughter that fled, had a baby, died soon after. Thought she visited her mom, and her mom had a hat pinned to the baby's head. Right? So I'm feeling like she probably like stabbed the baby's soft spot or something, which is absolutely horrible.
And you were all pumped. You said this was your favorite.
Because it's very interesting, okay? She started dating, like, she was grieving. Then, I don't know, Nanny disapproved of the guy that her daughter started dating. She started visiting her father more after a fight with her mother. Then Robert died under Nanny's care, which is the baby, after a fight with her mother, and was diagnosed as asphyxiation and unknown causes. And then Nanny collected $500 life insurance policy that she had taken out on the baby. Okay? Then her husband, her second husband, he ended up taking advantage of her. Forcing himself on her or whatever. The next day she put rat poisoning in his corn whiskey and he died that evening. Listen, motherfucker, don't even try.
How'd that feel?
So then she has later marriages and she gets married and she disappears and, you know, like goes off for a while and then comes back or whatever. Well, basically, like, she just starts having fights with, like, her mother-in-law, her mom, her sister, people disapproving of her lifestyle, essentially, and then they all end up dying, like, dead. Okay? But the last one, like, a doctor was like, this is weird. Like, in a small town that they keep dying. So we're going to go ahead and test, and they found the poisoning. So then, the videos I watched, they're talking to her, and she has the sweetest, calmest voice. And she, in the couple videos I watched, she was like, they're like, what are you in for? She says, well, they think I killed my husbands, but I didn't. Like, she's like, I don't know. And they're like, what would you suggest to, like, mothers that have girls? She says, keep your daughters close and go to church. Like, she is like, but she's like always smiley and like a very sweet tone. And I just was like, damn, like you would not think that she was a serial killer.
That's a cold-hearted motherfucker there.
Yeah. But she eventually, like, pled guilty to it, had life imprisonment. They didn't give her a death penalty because she was a woman. And she died from leukemia in the hospital. She's buried in Oklahoma.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Giggling Granny.
You know.
Lady Bluebeard. Lonely Hearts Killer. Like, my God.
What would you think of this?
Did you like Nanny Doss?
I did. I feel like I've seen something on her too.
I didn't like the baby stuff. Like, leave the babies alone.
No. I can't see how it went so far. If all these people are dying around the one person.
It was a bunch of different states. Like, it was somewhere in North Carolina, somewhere in Oklahoma, somewhere other place. Like, she moved because she had different husbands.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
She had a plan.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not going to stay in one spot too long. But that first husband, when they came out, he was probably like, I was this close to getting murdered. But I got out of there. Because I was scared of her.
And he got one daughter out.
Pretty sure she got killed.
I thought you said he got one daughter out, but she killed two other ones.
Two other ones died of food poisoning. I'm not positive if the oldest daughter's baby died. I'm not positive if she survived. Like, it's a lot of people to remember the list. Like, keep track of who is related to who and whose dad is who, and like, so I know that she killed a daughter, two grandchildren, mother.
Not a good person.
No, not a good person.
Calm,
soft-spoken. said, like, people said it was for insurance money, but I think it was more, you have an argument with her, you're dead. Like, she's just straight up like, I'm not dealing with your shit.
Alpha female.
You're gone.
Okay.
Okay?
So here's what I'd like to ask you.
Okay.
We have the opportunity,
Okay.
you and me,
Yeah.
adventure team,
Okay.
to go 5 locations, 5 different serial killers we're going to investigate. Would you do it?
I'm very torn. Okay?
What?
This is why. Okay? Would I want to? Absolutely. Because I don't know why, but I think more people than just me and you are fascinated by serial killers. I like just how
There's
how their brains work, why they do what they do. So yes, I would want to. But the reason why I'd be hesitant is because it would depend on if the victims' families were still alive. And like if they were okay with it, then okay, but like bringing up that trauma just so I can investigate.
Okay, do you believe that you could get answers though, possibly?
I don't know, maybe. Might get a stomach ache. Who knows? You asking too many questions, you're next.
Well, because I think that would be an interesting thing.
Like, I think it'd be very interesting as well.
Like you said, if everybody was cool with it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how. And you know what? We don't know in these houses, these buildings, these places that we go to, they've housed those kind of people.
Yeah.
What do they say? You walk by, it's like 16 to 20 in your lifetime and you don't even know.
Probably. Yeah. So, like, it's interesting. And, like, I would want to, but again, I would want to be respectful of the families. So it's just, like, maybe get ones that are, like...
I've seen people go to Bundy's place.
Back in the early 1900s ones. You know?
Yeah, that'd be the ones to go to.
Yeah, because then I feel like there'll still be relatives maybe, but not like...
Right.
They're probably not watching the shit we're doing.
Right.
I don't know.
I like your new shirt too.
Yes, new merch, new Adventure Team merch. Check
Look at
it
that.
out.
Huh?
We have another color as well.
Yeah. Beautiful light gray.
Shut up. Shut up. Me and Brian had a huge debate on this gray situation. Okay, Brian hates gray apparently.
I don't hate gray.
But I told him...
I just have a different hue of gray than...
Yeah. I told him I was going to, like, black and gray. And he was like, okay, sounds great. So we get them. I show him. And he's like, I don't like the gray.
Never said that.
You said I don't like gray.
Evidence would suggest, if you read the texts, that I might not be super fond of them.
Yeah, and I said, you said okay. You said, I don't like anything gray. And I said, you said okay to the gray. And you said, well, I thought it was going to be a darker gray. Like, real dark gray. I said, like, black? You thought it was going to be black? So, we had a debate on, like, the different colors.
It turned out all right.
Yeah.
Are you happy with my decision? Are you happy with the way I ended it, though? Like, we're cool with it right now, right?
We'll see.
I think it's going to be a hit.
Do you need a drink?
No, those are the best ones I've ever seen.
That's right, motherfucker. They sure should are.
What would your nickname be?
I don't know. What would my nickname be?
Like, the...
Right? Can't think of it.
I'll come up with one.
You come up with one, and we'll see. We'll see if it sticks.
Do you want to be a ripper?
I don't know. That's messy.
So you're going to be a poisoner?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I also have a question. I also have a thing to talk, like, real quick, tying back, So, again, it may just be, like, the way my thought process on the serial killers, okay? Women, it's because you pissed them off or they want money.
Mm-hmm.
Men, I feel like a lot of it has to do with mommy issues.
Yeah. Perverts.
Mommy
did some shit.
Mommy did something that you didn't like, and now you have to kill every woman that reminds you of your mommy.
Right.
Like, it's weird, right?
Yeah. It's always tied back to the ladies in some fashion, form, or fashion.
Yeah. I guess. Tread lightly.
I'm not ever going to make you upset, because you like this shit.
I wouldn't murder someone.
No, but I'm saying, like,
And if I did, I'd get away with it.
On that note.
On that note, that is all that we have for this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay. So I hope you liked this episode. Like I said, it is one of my favorites topics. It's not necessarily paranormal, but I still dig it. I dig it. I can't help
There's
it.
some paranormal to it.
There's some paranormal into it.
Hey, also keep checking on me, message me and stuff like that, just so we know we're still here.
He's fine.
Just make sure you do.
He's fine. Okay. Anyway, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, download, and we will see you next week. Go out and make every day an adventure. Bye.
Bye.
Do you think people are going to think that I'm a serial killer?
No, I liked it.